The team of French archaeologists had reached the bottom of the sea. They saw these big blocks of granite scattered around. Upon seeing them, it appeared that these were not natural formations, but had been specifically carved into that shape. These stones held hidden secrets and mysteries at the bottom of the sea, and soon their veil was about to be lifted. Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Back in Time. This time, we were exploring near the coast of the city of Alexandria, in a separate location. Alexandria is a historical city that was founded by Alexander the Great after he conquered Egypt in 331 BC. Just like the significance of Dubai today, it held great importance in the world over 2,350 years ago. At that time, Alexandria had become a center for international trade, and to attract the world, a very large lighthouse was also constructed. This lighthouse had a height of more than 100 meters and served as a beacon for sea vessels. From miles away, one could see this lighthouse. Slowly, it began to be regarded as a symbol of Alexandria's grandeur and as the seventh wonder of the ancient world. Alongside its magnificence, it held another significance as well. This was the first lighthouse ever built in the world. It was one of the seven wonders of the world, two of which were constructed by ancient Egyptians. The first one is the Pyramids of Giza, which still stand intact to this day. And the second lighthouse of Alexandria, also known as the Pharos of Alexandria, was an entirely unique structure of its time, considered a marvel for the world. Built with limestone and granite stones, it held a prestigious status in the field of engineering. However, today, we do not see the presence of that lighthouse on the shores of Alexandria. The evidence of its existence is found in some historical books. But how did it actually appear, or what did it physically look like? Various historians have their own opinions and descriptions about it. Some say that it was built about 50 kilometers offshore in the sea, while others speculate that it was so tall that a stone thrown from the top would take 2 days to reach the bottom. The situation was such that the new Egyptian government gradually weakened. However, these are all different accounts and opinions. Over time, the famous ancient lighthouse gradually fell into disrepair. In the year 1755, approximately 550 years ago, a powerful earthquake known as the Lisbon earthquake caused the lighthouse to be uprooted and scattered into the sea. The lighthouse, which had stood tall for 1,300 years, vanished as if it had never been built. As time passed, the history of Alexandria and the lighthouse became increasingly obscure. Today, it remains a mystery for archaeologists. It is believed to be lost somewhere in that part of the sea. The entrance to the Alexandria harbor, which exists today, has been a subject of interest for a team of French archaeologists who have been working diligently for the past 20 years to unravel its mysteries. Now, they have decided to venture underwater and seek assistance in their efforts. Their sole objective was to digitally reconstruct the original shape and design of the lighthouse, no matter the efforts required. They encountered large granite blocks scattered several feet below the surface of the sea. Based on the size and shape of the blocks, it appears that they are not a natural formation, but rather have been specifically cut. These blocks are indeed believed to be part of the original structure of the lighthouse, known as the Pharos of Alexandria. Proving this connection can be quite challenging. As soon as you mentioned earlier, there are significant variations found in the designs of lighthouses throughout history. To understand this, archaeologists have decided to utilize photogrammetry technology. They convert hundreds of thousands of photos into 3D videos using computer graphics to gain insights. After a duration of 30 weeks and the collection of 50,000 photographs, the archaeologists had gathered such a substantial amount of data that it could be converted into a 3D model. After 600 years, the first ever 3D model of the Alexandria Lighthouse's foundation was being examined. The model consisted of 3,000 blocks spread over an area of approximately 3 acres. It included the foundation of the lighthouse as well as large pillars. Some blocks had shapes that could significantly contribute to recreating the original design of the lighthouse. However, this task is not easy. Connecting those 3,000 blocks is like solving a joint puzzle, and it requires the assistance of computer graphics to do it accurately. A large portion of this debris is believed to have fallen on the shore for some reason. But what is it? Archaeologists believe that these are pillars from the doorway of the lighthouse. When the debris that had fallen below the water was examined, 2 such pillars were also found there. It feels like all these pieces are actually parts of the same doorway. When the 3D model of these pillars was assembled using computer graphics, it was astonishing to see that they fit perfectly together, aligning flawlessly with each other. It is possible that there was a wooden door in between these granite blocks. The doorway of the Alexandria Lighthouse, which was destroyed 600 years ago, might have looked something like that. Its height was 41 feet, while its weight was more than 200 tons. The lost identity of ancient wonders of the world had been partially reclaimed. However, apart from the entrance, the rest of the lighthouse remained a mystery. The team of archaeologists continued their efforts to unveil the secrets of the lighthouse, keeping their endeavors ongoing since that night. I visited the place where the lighthouse once stood. There is now a large building erected in its place, commonly referred to as the building. This structure was built in the year 1417, just 50 years after the collapse of the lighthouse. Fortunately, inside this food, a fascinating hint was found. The design of the mosque in this food is similar to that of a lighthouse. There are significant chances that those who constructed this food and mosque intended to pay tribute to the Alexandria lighthouse. The same design was indeed created. Undoubtedly, its size may not be as large, but the interior view of it resembles that of an ancient lighthouse. So, did the Alexandria lighthouse really look like that? To validate this theory, the 3D model was matched with the information found in history books. It was mentioned by the Moroccan scholar Ibn Battuta in AD 1355 that the walls of the lighthouse had a thickness of 10 spans. During that era, things were measured using the size of the hand. From the tip of the thumb to the little finger, it was called a span. One span was approximately 8 inches long. In other words, 10 spans would be equivalent to 6 ft 7 inches. A fascinating discovery was made when the walls were added to the lighthouse's door using a 3D model. The thickness of the walls was precisely 6 feet 10 inches. Compared to the size described by Ibn Battuta 700 years ago, it was only 3 inches larger. This was a significant breakthrough for archaeologists, indicating a high probability of the accuracy of Ibn Battuta's written description of the Alexandria lighthouse. When the 3D model of the remaining parts of the lighthouse was created, it left everyone astonished. It looked just like the mosque of the Qaitbay Citadel looks today. The statues kept in the Alexandria Museum that stood at the entrance of the lighthouse appeared similar in that way. This lighthouse, standing at 330 feet tall, was considered one of the tallest structures in the world at some point in history. At its top, there was a mirror made of iron that reflected sunlight during the day, while at night, fires were lit inside to guide seafaring ships. The experts' estimation regarding the Alexandria lighthouse turned out to be absolutely accurate. After 42 years of the lighthouse's destruction, the builders of the Qaitbay Citadel paid tribute by designing the mosque based on the grandeur of the Alexandria lighthouse. We hope that you all will greatly appreciate and share this back-in-time video. See you in the next magnificent video. Until then, take care and goodbye.